Well, hello, Mickey Peaky. Well, for starters, what day is it today?
July 4th.
Independence Day.
Independence Day.
Independence Day. Well, happy July 4th, everybody. Is that for starters? Hopefully you're out enjoying some time with family and friends. Maybe going to the lake, maybe doing a barbecue, whatever, but we're celebrating our nation's birthday here, or Independence Day, sorry, here, and having a good time. I know we're going to cook some good food, hang out with the neighbors this evening, light off some fireworks. Oh, you got a fireworks right next to you. Callie's been hoarding all the fireworks. We're going to light those off tonight and have a good time. It's been hot again the last few days. It was decent to start the week. It felt like maybe we had some comfort in sight, but hey, we got smacked right between the eyes with some 90-degree weather here the last couple days. And tomorrow, Monday, I think is even going to be close to 100. So, but hey, you know what? We're used to it. We're used to those temperatures. We've been dealt those temperatures most of the season already, it seems like. So warm weather, we're not scared of warm weather, are we? We just get out there, put on our cute little sundresses, well, the ladies do, and we go down and chase some fish. So we had some fun this past week. I was all over the place. Went up to Mille Lacs, had a beautiful morning, got rained and blown off the lake for a period of time. It's crazy how fast these storms. That doesn't work there. Those don't work together. We got blown off for a period of time with torrential monsoon rains and winds going from 0 to I don't know. So that's crazy about those big bodies of water. Always be careful. Don't take any risks. Pay attention. Be sky conscious, as people say. Oh yeah? I don't know. She's already playing with some ice fishing tackle. But we went up to Mille Lacs, caught some fish, caught some walleyes before that season closed down. You cannot fish walleyes, I believe, until July 16th. So from the 1st to the 15th on Mille Lacs, the walleye season's closed. You can't even target them. You can't even have live bait in your boats. Remember that. We've been asked that question a few times. So if you go up to Mille Lacs, you're artificially targeting smallmouth bass. Walleye season is not happening right now up there. Otherwise, I've been on all kinds of lakes: Minnetonka, Northeast Metro, West Metro, went to Wisconsin, fished Wapagasset, fished a variety of different bodies of water, found some very similar patterns. We've mostly targeted largemouth bass, smallmouth bass is what we did our fishing, is we chased bass, and we found some baits that work better than others, like we talk about every week. There's been, again, some consistency. The jig worm bite, we did throw drop shots quite a bit this last week, caught a bunch of fish on a drop shot. We showed you how to rig that a couple videos ago. By far and away, the best bite this week, though, again, was on a jig worm and just flipping or pitching jigs. Traditional jig, weedless jig type stuff, all-terrain AT rattling jigs. Did some Grass Master a little bit, not a ton, but AT jig, finesse jig, those were our two dominant choices. Then I'll show you again what was taking the cake for not just myself, but my clients and my kids when we've been out fishing. So some good ways to catch fish. Water temperatures are uniform. They're staying in the mid to upper 70s, and we're teetering at that 80-degree mark. I expect them to heat up this afternoon again, and again tomorrow we'll see low 80s for highs for water temps. I was launching my boat over in Wisconsin on Friday afternoon after would pick up my son, and I walked into the water, and it awkwardly felt warm to your feet. So we are seeing some warm water temps, which you like, because when the water's warm, you can swim, can't you? You like to swim in lakes?
We have a pool.
You got a pool over there? We like to swim in the lake, swim in the pool, hang out outside, have a good time, and do all that. Are those your jig boxes? For catching what? What do you catch with those? Bluegills? Crappies? Oh yeah. So it's been good, but here's what's been catching the most fish for us by far is modified jig worm. And what we're doing, again, I'm pretty sure I've shown you this in the past, we're taking that Mr. Twister pocket fry. It's the 5-inch, 4.5-inch limp noodle symmetric bait that has the dimples in it. You can kind of see it's got the dimples in it, the depressions, and what that does is it slows things down. It kicks off some vibration, kicks off some different stuff in the water column if you have those dimples in there. And what are we doing to catch these fish is we're taking...
We watched a scary movie that was about a sharky.
scary movie about a shark. We did watch the scary movie about a shark, and we're taking that mighty head from all terrain, and I'm actually taking a little bit off this because I want that flat portion of the jig to butt up against this bait clean. So what I'll do is I'll just take about an inch off this bait. That's all I'm taking off. I'm discarding that piece, and now I got just a smaller 3.5, 4 inch profile, but you can see I got that flat surface. I like that on here, and then I'll thread it on just like this, and this has caught us so many fish in the last week. Whether you're aggressive jigworm fisherman, whether you're a lazy jigworm fisherman like Brody, just casting at the back of the boat and letting it sit and do nothing. Although the dude whooped me and kicked my butt on the water on Friday. So did Jack. And that is what we're fishing right there. Bless you. Is just that mighty head jig and that modified pocket or ring fry from Mr. Twister. And again, I'm fishing braided line. I got 20-pound braided line and a fluorocarbon leader. And this is that kind of bait you cast out, you let it sit, and you slowly work it back to the boat. And they oftentimes hit this on the fall. You can cast it along inside weed line or outside weed lines. You want to cast it in the weeds. If you're not snagging weeds once in a while, again, I've said this before, I don't feel like you're going to be on the spot. There are some fish moving out deeper right now onto the rocks and that sort of stuff. But again, in the lakes I'm fishing, we're fishing weed-orientated fish, and we will fish weed-orientated fish for probably the entire open water season. That's just kind of what they focus on. You'll get some fish in the rocks, and we'll do that too, but my biggest fish come on the rocks in the weeds. So this is a good bait that's catching kind of everything. What's up?
One time my dad brought me and my mom out, and me and my mom caught more than my dad.
Yeah, you girls always catch more than me when I take you out fishing. So Callie just had to rub it in that when I take her out fishing with mom, that you guys catch more than me. Is that always true? Yeah, it's always true. I pretty much get whooped every time I take these girls out. They catch lots of fish. And you caught your fish on a wacky rig. Big bass. How big were the bass?
Oh, no.
How big? Like that? Big ones? Yeah. So that jigworm continues to be king, and I like fishing a jigworm because it's just efficient. It's effective, where we don't have to overthink it. And then if I'm fishing a jig, I've been throwing like a 3/8 ounce Texas craw, green pumpkin, blue and black, match the trailer to the bait. Been catching fish on that too as well. But again, every time I go to a jig, because I want to do something different, maybe give my arms a break, the other guys in the boat are catching them on a jigworm. So jigworm continues to be king, in my opinion, right now for catching fish. However, like I said, we were throwing the drop shot for a while, caught a bunch of fish on the drop shot, and that was super effective. And it's a fun way to fish. I can change my approach, change my presentation. You can put a heavier weight and power shot, what a lot of anglers call this power shotting technique. You increase your weight, shorten your lead from your weight to your jig, and it's just another way to get that bait down there quick and offer something in a different manner. So power shotting is just shorten your lead, your tag line from your weight to your offering, and then increase the weight a bit so you can fish heavier and get down there fast. You do. That's a crank weight from today's tackle for your jigs for ice fishing. We haven't used those at all really this summer. We might use that when we go ice fishing, right? That's pretty cool though. So that's kind of how we're catching them. We caught some fish on a crankbait. We caught some fish on a frog. That was super fun. Got some nice fish to eat a frog, which was super cool. Throwing frogs in the pads or in between docks or whatever it might be. We got some fish to blow up on that. Fun way to fish. You can always catch a fish on a frog in the summer. If you see a gnarly, nasty, cheesed up patch of lily pads or dock line or whatever, don't be afraid to run through that stretch with a frog. You'll be surprised at what you can catch, and oftentimes it can be your biggest bass of the day that will eat that frog. So you can see I got frogs rigged up on rods pretty much all summer long, because you never know when you're gonna need to chuck that frog out there, and it can just be a super fun way to fish. And you remember when you frog fish, you're not necessarily setting the hook on sight bite. When you see the blow up, a lot of times I'll put my rod tip down, wait a second, and then set the hook. A lot of times if you get antsy and you just set the hook really fast, what happens, that frog comes back, and you've seen pictures on social media of guys and gals getting hit in the side, or you get the duck. So to avoid that kind of stuff, just fish hits, take a second, dip your rod tip, load up, then set the hook, versus setting the hook right away on visual instinct. A lot of times that frog comes back at you at Mach 7 and you got to duck or tell everybody in the boat, look out. So that's where frog fishing comes into play. Otherwise, we're gonna get out there, chase down some fish again this week. Probably continue to fish the similar patterns.
Dad, is that hook?
Oh yeah, big hook there. And what I'm doing is I'm looking for fish. One trend I definitely saw the last few days was they are stacked up. So I'm running and gunning. If I'm working a spot and I'm not catching anything, I vacate the spot and move. I don't sit there and continue to fish it out because they're really schooled up. If we catch one, I'll tell another one of my clients or anglers in the boat, cast right there. And if we start to catch one or two, I'll sit there on spot lock and we'll dissect that area. And a lot of times you can catch a bunch of fish. I would say if we fish hard and catch 40 fish in the morning. Oh yeah, if we catch 40 fish in the morning, 35 of those fish will be bulked up in some type of school, meaning there might be 5 fish I catch rogue. The other 35 came in clumps where it's obvious, maybe on 3 spots, 10, 12 fish a spot. That's been very consistent. So if you catch a fish, give it a little more time. And if you're not catching fish, make a move. I'm not saying make a complete drastic move, but maybe just switch to a different spot of the weed line or whatever, another inside turn, another point, whatever it might be, and try to find where those fish are schooled up, because right now they're definitely schooled up. So, but like I said, have a wonderful July 4th. Enjoy the rest of your holiday weekend. Have a great week to kick off the first full week of July. We are definitely into summer patterns right now. Hydrate, wear appropriate clothing to protect your skin. Put your swimsuit on, right? Jump in the water if you want to jump in the water, and get out there and catch some fish. So, any last comments, Callie?
Goodbye. Hope you guys have a great 4th of July.
Callie says, have a great 4th of July. Gonna have fun today? Spray you with the hose, light some fireworks, and eat some food? All right. Have a great week, everybody. We'll catch you next time.
Bye.